I mean, I'm, you know, a fan of John Carpenter. I like a lot of his other stuff. He's probably in my top 5 directors that I like. I mean, I'm not saying he's
I know.
that, you know, like one of the absolute best, but I mean, I just like him personally.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna hide this tape when I'm finished. If none of us make it, at least there'll be some kind of record. Storm's been hitting us hard now for 48 hours. We still have nothing to go on.
What were they doing flying that low? Shooting at a dog. At us.
Stir crazy. Cabin fever, who knows?
Get a hold of somebody. Get a hold of anybody. We gotta report this mess.
I doubt if anybody's talked to anybody on this entire continent.
Well, the Thing. You want to discuss it?
Sure.
Okay.
Now.
I mean, released in 1982.
Was
right?
it?
Yeah. Well, because it was the same year as E.T.
I know that,
And,
yeah.
that's why they say
E.T. crushed it.
Yeah, because people wanted, you know,
A friendly
alien that, you know.
Not, yeah, that type.
But it was, at the time, I think it was John Carpenter's most expensive movie.
I think he got his most budget, yeah. His highest budget.
Right, the highest budget, yeah. He even got, what's his name, Ennio Morricone, I'm not exactly sure, to work on the score. Which Morricone, whatever, he afterwards said that Carpenter only chose the stuff that sounded like Carpenter.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And he was frustrated, I guess, at some of the other pieces that he had done didn't make it into the movie.
Okay. So it's credited to both of them, as far as music?
I think so.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I don't think Alan Howarth, if that's how you say it, I don't think he was involved in that one.
Okay.
He was usually the guy who helped Carpenter. They usually wrote music together.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
You know,
I think it was a movie that was supposed to jumpstart his like Hollywood career, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think he cites the failure of it as really kind of putting him into a box or a corner.
Yeah.
You know, and he had difficulty.
Yeah.
Although he did have Starman. Starman was like a for-hire movie, basically.
Yeah.
And
but that got an Academy Award nomination.
yeah, for
Jeff Bridges.
Performance.
Yeah.
But you know, after that, he couldn't seem to get out of the horror box too much.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
I think he ended up doing Christine next, to be honest with you.
He did. Yeah.
He was supposed to do Stephen King's Firestarter.
Right.
After that, and because of the failure, they pulled all his projects. Universal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a great movie.
I mean, I think the music is key, though.
Yes.
I think the music's fantastic.
Yeah, I think I've told you before, the ending is perfect.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Okay.
Spoilers? Are we going to do spoilers?
Sure.
We'll give a spoiler alert.
Yeah, we'll do a spoiler alert for the one person watching. Thank you. I'm sorry, 2. Maybe. It'll be friends and family or something.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You feel me?
I feel you. Well, what do you think makes it successful? Like,
the atmosphere of it and the tone of it is so isolated.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. There's just something about the tone of it that makes it successful.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's a pretty bleak movie.
Yep.
Yep. You know, spoiler alert, you know, it doesn't exactly have an explicit ending
conclusion
whatsoever, but it doesn't have an explicitly happy ending either. I mean, as a matter of fact, I guess you could say it's basically a no-win scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
at the end. So, but it just, I mean, that just adds more impact to it. You know, you walk away from it, and it, you know,
you think about
there's
it.
a lasting impression that it leaves with.
Yeah, if they explain it, supposedly there was an original ending where they get picked up.
Yeah.
and all that, and then it's revealed they're both okay or something.
Yeah.
And
it's
thank
just-
God they cut
I
that out
know,
because that would have
I know.
been that would have
been
really
stupid.
yeah
They
that really
filmed it too.
they did okay
Yeah,
they
they
just
filmed it.
he just cut it.
Yeah, and even I think in the 90s there was a short running
Film director's cut.
they were going to do a I think they did some comics and they were going to adapt it for TV. And
You're right.
And in the comics, I think they say that
Childs is infected.
is infected.
Yeah, they do.
Which, I mean, there is a lot that kind of
Says he does.
Says he does.
It is.
I think he is.
I think he
probably
is, too.
infected, yeah.
But just the fact it's left ambiguous is what makes it pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh no.
'Cause you
definitely.
can still
And you don't
question
know how
it.
it's going to end.
Yeah,
You know,
I
is
don't-
Kurt Russell's character going to
Sure.
get killed, or is Kurt Russell going to?
He has a flamethrower.
Right, I know.
You know?
Yeah, I didn't really notice that until I saw somebody, pointed it out that he
Okay.
does have a flamethrower like ready to go. Like,
Yeah.
He can
Yeah. So he
blow
would.
him away.
He would be okay.
What did you think of the performances?
I think everybody was really good.
Yeah, I think everybody did a pretty good job. I mean, guys you've never seen again.
I know,
You
I
saw them
know.
before,
I know.
seen since.
I know.
I think
A lot of character actors, I think, playing
yeah.
people.
I know.
Kurt Russell was really good.
Yeah, Kurt Russell was.
He's usually
yeah.
really pretty good.
I like him, although he hasn't been in a lot of
Great movies.
great movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So performance is good. You thought.
Yeah.
And you really cared
Yes, for the people.
for the people.
Yep.
Yeah. The remake failed at that so much.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to
Yeah,
see
it
it.
was ridiculous.
The
dude.
clips I've seen of it
Well, the
are
CGI just
abysmal.
kills it.
Yeah,
It just
abysmal.
kills it. The practical effects and the thing.
It
for
goes
the
for a
most
lot
part,
of traditional slasher, like jump scares, and that's it, right?
What, the remake?
Yeah, the remake just goes for like jump scares and
Yeah, and
stuff like that.
the other thing that's really annoying is that if you remember from the beginning of the original, the guys couldn't speak English.
I know, so you didn't know what the origin
Right.
of that dog or why they're chasing it and all that.
But everybody speaks English in that movie.
I know,
It's
I've
so
heard
stupid,
that.
like,
why would they do that?
Because
No one wants to read
the-
subtitles.
Hollywood thinks that that nobody wants to read subtitles. If it had been practical effects, actually, I could have seen it being a good deal
Respect
better.
it more, yeah.
Yeah, but the CGI was bad first of all, and it just takes the weight out of it. There's just no weight to the suspense.
Yeah, you know you're looking at CGI,
Yeah.
so it's like whatever.
The practical effects, for the most
I
part.
was gonna say that's one of the really big praises for that movie.
What is it, Rick Boten?
I don't know.
Guy
But
who did
I
the
don't think
effects.
I think he killed himself or something, right?
I think he
Went nuts
he
or
went
something.
insane. Yeah, he's in some kind of state of psychosis, I think.
Oh, is he really? Okay.
Yeah, he basically like a mental breakdown. But he's been responsible for a lot of really good stuff.
Okay. I think it was his idea. John Carpenter, him sat down to come up with a look for the alien, and he was the one who said it shouldn't have a specific look. It should
Yeah, I think so.
be a combination
Yeah,
of past things that it's imitating.
Right.
So it
Yeah,
should
that
just be
it's
this
similar.
weird mix of,
right.
and that's brilliant. I mean, that's a great
Yeah, it's
idea.
cool. Yeah. Like the first horror movies that I had seen.
What one?
Like The Thing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
an R-rated movie that my dad was like okay that were watching.
Oh, really?
Probably just because there wasn't any sex. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just funny how people.
I know it's okay to be violent, but
Yeah.
sex is out of the question.
Yeah,
It's a weird double standard that the MPAA has. I know.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was the first one you saw, so that in that way it holds nostalgia for you, I guess.
Yeah, I think it had an impact because of that.
Yeah.
And like I said, one that I could like we kept renting it.
So it's one you had repeated viewing.
Right. And yeah, the music is just absolutely fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
I love. It's very simple, but it's so effective. Like a lot of Carpenter stuff, and like I said, it does seem like he chose the stuff from Ennio Morricone's
Okay.
compositions that more fit his
Style, so it makes it cohesive.
Right. A lot of people say it's interesting how there's no female presence, really.
That's true, yeah, that is
Creates an
interesting.
interesting dynamic.
Yep.
There's not a lot of humor.
No, I don't think there's any.
There's like one or two things that
They're
are,
just supposed to be humorous.
Yeah, and they are. I mean, it's successful.
Yeah.
And just, how much is off screen. There's so much, the concept itself that these people get assimilated. and you wouldn't really know that they were assimilated.
Yeah,
I mean,
has
it
a creepy feel
right,
to
it
it.
adds to it all.
Yep.
There, to this day, I mean, there's a few parts of the movie that there's no answer to, like
Yeah.
of who was who at the time. Like,
I know,
were
I
they
know.
infected or
When
not?
were they infected?
Do
When
they
were
know they're infected?
Yeah, I know.
That's the one big thing that a lot of people don't
Have a
you
clear
can't
answer
really
on.
figure out.
Yeah.
But and just there's, to me, it has the best horror, and it's gory stuff. I mean, I'm usually not a big fan on that,
Yeah.
but it just has so many great set pieces.
Yeah.
Like the scene with the dog.
Yeah, that's
is
pretty
really
awesome.
creepy. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yep.
And just how little they show it too. It's weird. But when its head pulls back,
I know.
you
I was
geez,
just
it's like
remembering that.
crazy.
I know, that is crazy.
And then, but you don't totally get a full look at it either. Like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's cool.
I know.
And then the chess scene is just, I mean,
Yeah,
to me, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's one of the craziest, the
Yeah.
practical effects.
I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
are just crazy of that.
I
Did you
remember
know that the guy, what they did was to get the effect of the arms getting cut off? Have you read about that? That it was actually a dual, I guess you would call it amputee, and he was wearing prosthetics.
Oh, okay.
And if you notice, you're so wrapped up in what's going on with the body that you don't really look at the guy's face.
Yeah.
But the guy, the doctor character, he's wearing a really bad mask
Oh, really?
to make him look
like the doctor?
right? Because it's an amputee.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's not the guy.
Uh-huh.
But it's real quick. It's a real quick shot,
Yeah, I
and like
didn't
I
even
said,
notice.
you're totally wrapped
Yeah,
up
I
in
never
another part
noticed.
of the screen, so you're not even
Yeah, I didn't even know.
paying attention.
The very end, when the thing.
That's the one part where it's not totally successful to me.
No.
I mean, the scene isn't bad, but yeah, when you see it and it's this conglomeration of all this stuff, not totally keen on that. I think everything leading up to it's fantastic.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
especially when, and there's hardly any effects to it, but when the one guy grabs his face.
Oh,
that
yes.
one part is just, I don't know, it's just so effective.
Yeah,
Like,
I know what
you're
you're
like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
he's right there. You know what I mean?
know.
But yeah, I mean, because of the whole concept, people are scary.
I know, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what makes it interesting.
It is, yeah.
You don't know if they're assimilated. You
Yeah.
don't know if you're alone in a room with them, they're going to kill you. Or
Exactly.
take you over. You
Yeah.
know? So I think that's a cool thing, is that you have the set pieces with the crazy monster effects.
Yeah.
And then you also just have that absolutely, that constant paranoia. I mean, it just,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
it's probably my favorite horror movie.
Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago. Michael? Halloween.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Halloween, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
It's not my favorite, but it is an important.
It's a favorite.
It is a
it's
favorite,
amongst
and it's an
right.
important movie to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
What was your experience of having, like, when did you see it, and,
let's see, when did I see it?
when you were 5?
Yeah, pretty young, yeah. I think I saw it on TV.
I mean, what was your exposure to it, though, is what I'm saying, like, when you first saw it, and, like, your first initial impressions. I know you were probably young, but
Yeah, it's just young and,
you said the mental institution scene in particular.
yeah, but what's interesting is it's not in the theatrical cut. It's TV footage that he shot for TV.
Huh.
And so when I finally got it on DVD and watched it uncut, I kept waiting and looking for this scene where it's Michael Myers as a kid,
And they're like analyzing him or something.
Yeah, it's some weird, and it's, you know, whatever. And then I actually saw an interview where John Carpenter said there were horrible scenes that he was forced to write really quick, and you know, it was to pad out the hour and a half time, because back then they had to cut out every killing scene and any drug use in the car.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just an awesome movie. I mean, you know, it's a good horror movie, good atmosphere.
Right. I mean, what makes it successful to you then so well? Like what aspects, you know, the performances, the set pieces,
Yeah.
the music.
All of it.
I mean, the music's, you know, it's so iconic, of course.
Yeah.
And it's only like 2 or 3 different compositions that play through the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's
Originally, it was going to be no music.
It's, again, you know, Carpenter, simplistic, you know, style, you know, the cinematography, the lighting, the use of lighting is just, you know, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really not, you know, a lot of people, when they think of Halloween, I think a lot of times people are thinking of Friday the 13th. I mean, it's not that,
not
that violent.
Not really at all.
Or should I say bloody, gory. It's very simplistic in that
Yes.
regard. It's very,
Yep.
it has more of a classic approach.
Yep.
You know, like
Definitely.
the Universal
Yes.
horror movies from the 30s in that respect, you know.
Yep.
And you know, the only area where it falls apart to some degree for me is just the ending. And I don't mean the very ending. Spoiler alert, I guess.
I think I like the ending.
Well, what bothers me is just how insufficient he suddenly becomes as a killer when it comes to Jamie Lee Curtis's character.
Yeah, we talked about this recently. I told you the only thing I could say to defend it
Is that she's aware.
She's
that
on guard because
right.
all the other people weren't expecting to be attacked.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. It doesn't totally
I know.
alleviate my, but I mean overall,
I don't give
I mean,
a crap. I mean,
yeah.
it's just a good movie.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I like the structure
Well,
of the movie too.
What do you mean structure?
I don't know. I just like the opening.
Well, starting with the kid, I mean, that's
Yeah.
iconic.
That's what I mean.
That's
That
crazy.
opening, and then I just like the fact it's Halloween Day. We follow these kids through Halloween Day, and then it turns into night. I don't know. I just like the structure of the movie.
You mean that it all takes place within like, I guess it's like 24 hours.
A Halloween
right?
Day, really, a night, right?
Oh, I guess I never thought about that.
Yeah,
but I
you
guess so. You mean like when we see Donald Pleasance driving with the nurse? That's the previous night.
Yeah, that might
I
be like
guess?
either the previous night or the night before. Yeah, whatever. It's
Okay.
pretty much a chunk of the movie.
24 hours basically. Yeah.
I just like that, and then it builds up to a really like exciting and cool conclusion where she's being attacked, and then you know all
Yeah.
that, the closet, the stairs.
And Donald Pleasance. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people kind of made fun of him after he sort of slummed in the, you know, a lot of people thought he slummed when he kept going with the series.
Well,
But I mean, what I'm saying is like his antics can kind of get,
Oh.
they can get old in the later.
I mean, how many
movies.
times did he make the evil
The
speech
evil, but in
and the
the-
black behind his eyes? It's like,
but-
give me a break.
But in that movie, it's very effective.
Oh yeah, and it's
You know,
original. it's the first
yeah.
time he's done it.
Yeah.
But when you
Well, they
go
call
from
him the Shape, right?
Yes.
He's credited as the Shape, so it makes him kind of otherworldly.
Yeah, exactly.
John Carpenter's The Fog.
This is KAB Antonio Bay. Stevie Wayne here, and let me be the first to wish Antonio Bay a happy birthday. We're 100 years old today, and keep a watch out for that fog bank heading in from the east.
100 years ago, between midnight and 1, something unknown came out of the fog. Now it has returned.
Oh, Jesus.
100 years ago, between midnight and 1, something unnatural came out of the fog. Now it has returned.
The Fog.
The Fog. Okay. What do you like
You
about
haven't
that?
seen it, right?
I haven't seen it, so don't you know.
It's just again, when I said with Halloween, there's that classic approach,
Okay.
and it just has a classic horror movie approach. You know, that's what I appreciate about older horror is that Carpenter, he said that basically, because I have a book called Prince of Darkness, I think.
Okay.
And it's a series of interview bits about his various movies, and he says that basically there's two different styles of shooting film. There's the Russian style, which is, and I don't know if it's a pun or whatever, but of quick cuts and short takes, whereas he employs more of the German expressionism.
Okay.
Which is more about the long takes, building tension through, just
situation
through the camera. Through the camera, just settling on something for a time. Letting something play out on screen.
Yeah.
And that's what this. The Fog does that. It has really, really good cinematography. The location's so iconic too. It's a really cool. It kind of. It's basically, I think, supposed to be the West Coast.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to be maybe the Oregon or Seattle area.
Okay.
And it's just an interesting location to shoot. I would say part of the success of the horror element is that the location itself can be kind of eerie when taken from certain perspectives.
Okay.
It's not any, the writing isn't anything groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But it's, it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Not every movie has to be like this deep, artistic, can be fun or entertaining.
Right. Oh, also, by the way, with Halloween 2, how Carpenter went back in and he did recut stuff. Like, he reshot stuff, he recut stuff to make it more violent.
I know, which is weird because it doesn't seem his style.
I just think it was a for hire kind of situation.
I think,
want to do it anyway.
I think it was more of a financial probably decision, like, oh, I'll make a little more money if there's more blood or something.
But also with The Fog, they filmed the movie and they actually had to reshoot a lot of the movie.
Why?
Because Carpenter looked at it and he, according to his words, it was a mess. It wasn't scary. It just wasn't successful. And he went back and made it. I guess they added more effects.
Okay.
And it gave the antagonist beings more of a presence in the movie.
Okay.
The other thing too, music. The music of The Fog is, I have it on vinyl.
Oh, it's really good.
Actually, I bought a vinyl thing of it, and it's really cool. Again, simple, although a little more production was involved in that one.
Okay.
But still, still essentially simple, and recycles themes through the movie, but it just adds to the, the effect. I definitely recommend that.
Anyone in close proximity has the same dream.
What is it?
A secret that can no longer be kept. It started a month ago.
What started?
A change in the earth and the sky. His power.
There's a weird locking mechanism. Looks like it can only be opened from the inside.
A life form is growing out of prebiotic fluid. It's not winding down into disorder. It's self-organizing. It's becoming something. What?
I know that you couldn't get through it.
I'll have to rewatch
Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of people say it's a love or hated affair. It was done on a shoestring budget.
Okay.
But yeah, Prince of Darkness. Like I said, there's a twist at a certain point in the movie that just totally throws the movie in a different direction. That's really cool. It's a cool twist to me. The performances aren't. It's uneven. Donald Pleasance is good. He's in it, of course, and
he's the priest.
Victor
right?
Wong, I believe, the Asian gentleman.
I
think that's his name. He does a good job. He's
Yeah,
a character actor.
Well, those are dependable actors,
right.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Everybody else is pretty forgettable.
Yeah, they're kind of weak.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
That is the one issue. The
lead is very forgettable. You just like he's nothing.
He's just
he has like a mustache, right?
Right.
I think it's someone. Okay.
It's kind of like it suffers from one of the typical kind of missteps that a horror movie can make, where you don't care
about the characters. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But otherwise, I think from a writing perspective, from the cinematography, it's very successful to me.
Okay.
And the location's genuinely creepy to me.
Okay.
Like in the basement or just the old church, that whole situation.
Yeah.
And the fact that the homeless people are kind of closing in.
Yes.
The one scene actually I think is really effective, is where the one guy is leaving, I think, out the back, and he gets attacked by the woman with the scissors. Yeah, and then he has that weird voice then, and they see him throughout the window. And I love that kind of composition of the shot, because it shows their perspective from the window looking down at him in the parking lot.
Okay.
And there's I think I told you in Friday the 13th Part 3, there's a similar thing where it's a long shot.
Okay.
And you have the perspective of one of the people in the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it just adds so much of a creepy impact.
Sure.
I'm talking about in Friday the 13th Part 3, there's the part where she wakes up in the boat.
Oh, yes.
And she sees him in the window on the second floor, because he's been looking for her.
Yes, yeah.
And it's just when he sees her then get up out of the boat, and you see him then run away from the window, it's like, oh my God, you got to get out of there, Yeah,
you're right. That is a good scene. I do remember that.
I was impressed with that.
That's creepy. It's genuinely scary. What do you do? You're in the middle of the water,
right?
And
she
this
doesn't
guy
have a paddle.
this maniac has just run.
He just saw you, and he's coming after you, and you don't see him for a second because he's running through the house.
Exactly. So you don't know where he's at.
But in Prince of Darkness, I just think that's. It's just a cool shot, because you see him from the distance.
I know what you mean.
This one will drive you absolutely mad.
The riots began because the stores could not meet the demands of Sutter Kane's novel, In the Mouth of Madness.
Kane disappeared 2 months ago without a trace.
You're the guy that writes horror books.
You can forget about Stephen King. Kane outsells them all.
Mouth of Madness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was that great.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I wasn't. There were aspects that impressed me. There were a few scenes that impressed me.
Yeah.
Like the one scene, and it's early in the film, but when the guy, they're having that nonchalant conversation in the diner, and the one guy breaks through the window.
Okay.
That's pretty creepy, actually.
Yeah,
I thought that was a successful scene.
Yeah, that is creepy.
But the whole thing with the creatures being real, and he's bringing them into the real world.
I know, I didn't get that.
It
was boring.
It just wasn't menacing because of how fantastical it was.
Yeah, it was
because it was so fantastical. It just didn't have enough weight.
I like that concept. I like the concept of the main character realizing that he's fake. He's not real. That's a cool idea.
That actually is cool. I didn't realize that the first time watching it. I was confused.
Yeah, I was too a little bit.
But that is cool.
Yeah, I mean, he realizes he's a character in a book.
Yeah, realizing that did make me appreciate it.
That's kind of a cool idea. I
It's
don't
just
know
not
if it's
creepy.
executed that well, though.
No.
It could be executed a lot better.
It could be executed better. It's not that creepy.
No.
The only part I thought, besides that guy breaking through the window at the beginning, the one scene where the woman has the guy like strapped up like a BDSM, whatever you call it, like a sadomasochistic. Remember?
Yes.
She's got him in that stuff.
Yes.
And she's torturing him in the basement. That part was kind of weird.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But yeah, overall, the other thing, and this is what happened to Carpenter in the '90s. He got into rock.
Yeah.
And he started using guitar as an instrument, whereas beforehand it had mostly been, synth stuff.
Yes.
And the rock approach just
doesn't work.
It doesn't work as well at all. No, and I really didn't care for it in the '90s movies. I mean, after They Live, he just wasn't the same. Yeah, the two masterpieces are definitely Halloween and They Live. The Thing.
The Thing.
And then, I mean, favorite-wise, I would say They Live after that as being the third. Just because I don't think it's as,
I know. Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
He definitely has he's got the two masterpieces, which what other horror director can say that, really?
Exactly.
I mean, even Wes Craven, he's got
if
Nightmare on Elm Street, but Scream isn't, I would not consider that a classic. I mean, it's entertaining.
I'm saying that, probably his two most respected and well-received were those two.
Yeah.
A Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream.
But, I mean, they're not, or at least Scream is not a masterpiece.
Well, I wouldn't consider either a masterpiece, but Nightmare on Elm Street's a classic. I mean,
It's a
classic
okay.
horror type film.
Yeah, I guess.
Masterpiece is always, it feels like a step up
Right.
from classic even.
So what other horror director can say that, though? I mean,
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, again, to comment on the '90s, he just wasn't the same. Mouth of Madness, has parts.
Oh, Mouth of Madness
and the concept is
potential,
actually,
and
there's a lot of potential.
when you see that, you don't go, "Oh, this director sucks," or
No,
he's
it's not
crumbling,
a bad film.
yeah, or he's falling apart. As you said, and I have no desire to see his later films, but they were kind of really bad. Some of them.
Well, I mean, Ghost of Mars is
one of the worst movies.
Oh, it's abysmal.
Yeah.
What were you saying though?
I have heard Vampires get mixed to okay reviews.
It does. It gets mixed.
I don't think it's supposed to be awesome, but it's supposed to be okay.
Roger Ebert gave it a positive rating.
Vampires?
Mm-hmm.
Gene Siskel.
Oh, is it Gene Siskel? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Roger Ebert gave 3 stars to Ghost of Mars, so we won't talk about that.
Oh, that's the one I'm thinking of. Oh my god.
I don't know what he
That was like listening to Leonard Maltin, what he like.
I give Roger Ebert a little more credit than Leonard Maltin.
Oh, yeah,
Some of the
definitely.
stuff is, I mean.
He gave Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, 2.5, same as Laser Blast.
Yeah.
It's an adventure unlike anything on this planet. A weapon that might belong to us in the future, but is here now. Laser Blast.
Are you sad that he's kind of just totally taken himself out of the film world?
A little bit, but
maybe it's better. Maybe he just doesn't have it in him. He's burned out, maybe.
I mean, it's cool what he's doing with music.
I
always liked his music.
What's it called?
Lost Themes. It was released early this year, last year.
He really enjoyed it. It's themes for projects that never happened, or
either never happened or just original compositions. I mean,
Gotcha.
he was in a band in the 80s.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a keyboardist in a band.
Okay.
I think it was
sense.
all instrumental, but I mean, he basically has said in interviews that the whole idea with the album is that you're imagining your own movies.
That's cool.
You listen to each track.
Coming out with a second, right? Soon.
He is, yeah. He's coming out with a
this
second
year
one.
or next year?
I think it's going to be later this year. He did 2 episodes for Masters of Horror, which the one episode is actually considered one of the best ones, Cigarette Burns. That actually is his last piece of film that I think is successful. I mean, it really is successful. It's cool.
Yeah, that's the one about the footage that makes you film or
go crazy or something.
Yeah.
The other one is trash.
Pro-life.
Yes, it sucks.
There was talks. I remember an article popping up maybe a year or 2 ago about him doing a comic book movie, and that fell through, or some kind of adaptation of a, right? Yeah. I think you might have sent it to me or showed it to me.
Well, he's been involved in the industry for a few years now.
Like as a producer or something?
Yeah, he worked on a video game, I think it was one of the Fear games. I think it's literally F period E period. You know what I mean? Like it's acronym for something.
Something. Yeah.
And he worked on Story. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
He's into video games now. He's really into it.
I heard he smokes pot and plays video games all day.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of cool, but a little depressing.
Yeah, I mean, he seems okay with it though. But
he had cancer too, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think he did. Yeah.
I mean, what, from smoking? I
don't
he
know
so much. So.
I don't know what I think because I was watching the making of The Thing, and he was saying that he thinks he actually got, I think it was skin cancer. He thinks he got it from filming that movie because they would be out with that sun, like just beaming,
reflecting off the
snow, and just he said he swears that's probably where he got skin cancer from filming that.
Yeah, I didn't know he had any.
So, as far as John Carpenter,
I mean, yeah. To me, he's done.
Yeah, it's enough.
He's done.
Yeah, as far as films go.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
I'm glad what he did.
Yeah.
What he's done.
It's over. Yeah.
And it's just cool that he's doing the music. That's cool. And I'm just happy for the movies he made.
Cool.
So. What were we gonna do?
Like Halloween favorites, isn't that?
Oh yeah, horror favorites. Okay.
Okay. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So horror favorites, everybody.
Yes.
What? I'm just trying to be official here, man.
Okay.
Okay, so you go first, dude.
I need to get more comfortable.
Okay.
I'm too close for comfort.
Oh my god.
Ew. I've gained 100 pounds. Alright, so, what we say?
Favorite horror,
Life's
man.
Abysmal. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, that's a
given. Yeah, I don't even need to bring that up.
Yeah. This will make for a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Just the self-depravity,
Speak
deprecation.
up, man. Speak up.
The deprecation.
I think I'll hear it.
Self-deprecation. Okay, that's what I said.
Yeah, there you go.
Think they got that now? Self-deprecation.
Absolutely. Okay, that's good.
Okay, man. So start off, man. What do you got that we've both seen? Dude, what do you? Let's do this, dude.
Oh my god.
I am on board. You're the one freaking.
Okay.
All right. So start it off with something we've both seen, like Nightmare on Elm Street or
The
Thing. Come on, man.
Absolutely. What's one of your favorite horror movies?
Well, The Thing.